Hi everyone and welcome to Retrospectreviews. I'm Vince and today we're going to have a look at the Tandy Coco 3, but more importantly a program I picked up the other day called Aust-Quiz. Aust-Quiz is a fun program designed to develop and sharpen your knowledge of Australian geography. For primary school aged children, the direct instructions of Aust-Quiz is an entertaining introduction to towns, cities, territories and states of Australia. It is particularly valuable if used in conjunction with school atlases, but it's menu-driven for ease of use for young children, even when unsupervised. But Australian Quiz isn't only for children. By combining an entertaining memory quiz and a speed drill, it offers many challenges that any grown-up will enjoy. Plus, it doesn't matter where in Australia you live, Australia Quiz features 8 different programs. So once you have mastered your home state, try your hand at other places you may have only read about and visited briefly. All this and more makes Aust-Quiz a valuable educational tool that will give your entire family years of instruction and entertainment. Okay, so I've booted up Australian Quiz on the Tandy Coco 3. So here we are, title screen, Australian states and cities. There are 8 states and territories in Australia. Can you name them? When asked, just key in and enter the names of the states and territories. If you get stuck, just press enter. Press any key to continue. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so we've got a map of Australia, score, key in name of state, enter. So I'm assuming it hasn't indicated any particular part of the map, so let's start off with an easy one, which is New South Wales, where I am. New South Wales, and press enter. Okay, so we got that one right. That was pretty straightforward. Key in the name of state and enter. So we'll move on to the next one. Okay, let's move on to Victoria. So that's that little wedge just above Tasmania, which, yeah, if you don't live in Australia or know the Australian map, probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but you will know in a second as I type in Victoria. There we go. So that's Victoria down there, just under New South Wales. Okay, let's move to the west. This is an easy one, South Australia. So type in South Australia. Okay. So a lot of imagination when we're naming our states back in the day. So we've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 5 more states and territories. So moving there, we'll move west a bit further, and this one's really easy. The biggest state in Australia, and that is Western Australia. So that's not too difficult. There we go, Western Australia. So far we've got a score of 4. So 1, 2, 3. So we've named 4 states, so we've got a score of 4. Okay, now moving on. This is a bit more tricky. If you're not aware of Australia, the middle section there above South Australia is not technically a state. It is what they call a territory. So basically, it's a territory of Australia. So, and we call that Northern Australia. Oh no, sorry, what am I talking about? Territory, it's a territory, that's right. So type in Northern Territory. So there we go, Northern Territory. And moving east from Northern Territory, and we've got Queensland, named in the name of Queen Victoria, if my school history and geography lessons retained correct. And enter. There we go. We've got 6 out of the possible 8 states and territories. So now we've only got 2 left. So we'll move down to that little island underneath Victoria, and that is what we call Tasmania, or Tassie as it's known in Australia. So there we go, put Tassie there. Okay, so we've got one territory left, and it's a little territory. If you could probably see just under the S, there's a kind of like a little black line, looks like a circle, looks kind of like a lake or something. It's not a lake. That's what we call the Australian capital. So we'll type in Australia. What do we got here? Australia. Capital. Territories. Territory. Not territories. There's only one territory. Territory. And sorry, that is not correct. What are you talking about? Did I spell that wrong? Okay, so I didn't like Australian Capital Territory, so let's type that in. Did I make a mistake? Leave a comment down below if you think I typed that incorrect, spelt it wrong, but we will try it again. Capital Territory. Okay, I think that's right. And it says yes. So obviously I typed it in wrong. So that was my fault. Okay, so we got a score of 8 out of 8. You got 8 right out of 8 in 9 attempts. That's very good, apparently. Okay, so pressing the key to continue. Rightio. Now for the capital cities of the states and territories. Do you know them? In the next part, each state and territory will be named in turn. You should key in the name of the capital city or the capital and then enter. If you don't know the answer, just press enter. Press any key to continue. Right, let's give this a shot and see what happens. So we'll press the any key. Right, Australian Capital Territory. So I'm assuming it's asking me what the capital is. I should know this because I was born just across the border from it. And that is Canberra. So type in Canberra, and did we get that right? Yes, there's a little blinking light where Canberra is. So that is the capital of Australia. Now, New South Wales. So the capital of New South Wales is the first settled, type the 7 there, the first settled town in Australia, which is Sydney, where the Opera House is and the Harbour Bridge. For those who don't know Australia, that's where you will find it if you ever visit. Okay, Victoria. So the capital of Victoria is Melbourne. So type in Melbourne there. And enter. Yep, got that correct as well. Okay, the capital of Queensland is not Surfers Paradise, as some people may think. It's actually Brisbane. So we type in Brisbane. Okay, B-R-S-B-A-N-E and enter. Yes, got that correct. Okay, next one, South Australia. Okay, the capital of South Australia, I know this one, it is Adelaide. So as you probably guessed, most of the capital cities have quite European names, named after people. So now Western Australia is Perth. And there we go, Perth. Which I'm not sure could be named after a place in England, I think, or Scotland or something like that. Might have to check that one. Okay, so now we're moving to Tasmania. That is named after somebody, which is Hobart. So type in Hobart there. So Tasmania is that little island underneath Victoria there, down the bottom of Australia. And now we're moving on to the Northern Territory, and that is name is Darwin. And I wonder if anyone knows who Darwin was named after. If you know who Darwin was named after, leave a comment down below and let me know. So we'll type in Darwin, and there we go, the light's blinking. So we got Darwin. So we got a score of 8 there, so press any key to continue. So we've named all the capital cities. So you got 8 right out of 8. That is very good. Now you may try a few of the other cities. If you don't know any of the answers, just press enter. this is where it could get a little bit tricky because some of the next big cities after the capitals do have some indigenous names. So we'll just see. Enter the name of this city. So just above Sydney is the next big city after that, back when this program would have been made, is Newcastle, which is also one of the large steel manufacturing places of the day, and Port Harbour. So we'll do Newcastle. Now it's known for a lot of entertainment, a lot of bands come out of Newcastle, a lot of shows and so forth. Okay, so now we've moved up to the top part of Queensland, and it's I think that might be Townsville. Could be Townsville, could be Cairns. There's a couple of popular towns, but I think when this program was written, I think Townsville might have been a bit more popular then, so I'm going to go for Townsville. So type in Townsville, and is it correct? No, it was Cairns. Oh, jeez. I didn't, yeah, so Cairns or Cairns, depending on how you pronounce it. So I got that one wrong, so I didn't think it was that far up, but there you go. Okay, so where did it indicate next? I missed it. So somewhere in Melbourne, Victoria. So just above Victoria. That would have to be Ballarat, surely. It could be either Ballarat or Bendigo. Oh gosh. I'm gonna stick to my original and say. Oh no, I think Bendigo, because Bendigo is I'm sure that might be Bendigo there. Yes, it was Bendigo, so I was correct. Okay, enter the name of the city in Adelaide. So it's across the bay. I'm not sure if that's Victor Harbour across the way, but we... okay. It could possibly be... I could be wrong here. It could be Port Angus. Now, I don't know if I'm correct or not, but I'm going to put that in. It's a bit hard to tell on this map because it is... it's a bit hard to tell on this map because it is not 100% accurate like Google Maps, but it's pretty close to Port Angus. Port Angus or Port Agnes? No, no, I had the city wrong. Okay, moving on. This one I do know. This is a popular, another place, gold mine in Australia, still going strong to this day. And I'm going to say that is Kalgoorlie. So another one of those, I think this might be an indigenous name or an Australian attempt at an indigenous name. So we'll type in Kalgoorlie there. I think I've spelt that right. No, the city is Kalgoorlie. I spelt it wrong, but I knew it was Kalgoorlie, so I'm gonna give that to myself. Anyhow, so okay, this one I know. This is Alice Springs. This is where you'll find Illaroo, or the non-indigenous name for it. Most people know overseas as Ayers Rock, but locally we like to call it Illaroo. So we moved down to the north of Hobart. Not 100% sure, but it could be Devonport, Launceston, or Georgetown. But I'm gonna say Launceston. But like I said before, this map's a bit off, so nah, I like that, so I gave it that one to me, so that's good. So now, oh geez, we're way out in way out the west of New South Wales here. That could possibly be Cooper. Could be. Oh, I want to say Broken Hill, but I could be wrong with that. I don't. It could be Broken Hill or Cooper Pedy. No, it's too low down for Cooper Pedy, so I'm going to say it's Broken Hill. So I'm going to say it is Broken Hill. Broken Hill. And yep, I was right. It is Broken Hill. Oh, geez. Getting a bit crowded down there in Victoria. Could be Ballarat. Bit hard to tell on this map. It's either Ballarat or Geelong. But I'm going to bet it's Ballarat. So Ballarat is where it was a famous for a gold rush town, and the site of the miners rebelling against the English, or the governor of the Victoria at the time, who they felt the mining license was a little bit outrageous. I can't remember how much they had to pay, but yeah, so they rebelled, but it was squashed. It's quite famous now for there's a flag that flies, the Australian Southern Cross was their symbol. They wanted to have more rights to than what the government or the governor of the Victoria at the time would give them. So I'm going to say it's Ballarat. No, it was Geelong. I was terribly, terribly wrong. So moving up. Now this is probably Townsville up in Queensland. Ville. Yep. So I got Townsville right. Okay. Oh. Okay. I think this is this Wyndham. Could be Wyndham, maybe up here in Western Australia. Top end of Western Australia. Could that be? No, I don't think it could. Oh, geez, I don't know. I'm not very familiar with Western Australia. I do know Perth. I know Kalgoorlie. I know there's a Wyndham because my family on my mother's side come from another little place called Wyndham, which is on the south coast of New South Wales. But yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Oh, do I put Wyndham in, or do I try something else? I tell you what, I forgot about Broome. It could be Broome. So I might try Broome, because I think that is more likely the type of town that they would get me to. But then I was wrong about Bendigo and thought it was but it was Geelong. So anyway, I'm going to type in Broome. Oh, hang on, I've mistyped there. Broome. No, the city was Port Hedland. There you go. I was wrong. So moving on. What would that be? That's down in Adelaide there. Another state. I'm not too familiar with all the major cities in those states. What could be down there? I know Adelaide. What's this another one down there? So it was way down off the peninsula there. What is down there? Port Lincoln, maybe? Let's try that. Port Lincoln. No, the city... I misspelt it. Well. Now, I'm not sure how long this is going to go, because there's a lot of cities and towns in Australia, so this could go forever. And I was not paying attention, and I have no idea where the black dot was. So I'm just looking for the other black dot. Pressing key to continue. Alright, so that was the end of it. You got 6 right out of 12. That is quite good. Over the whole program, you scored 22 out of 28 possible. That is good. Try the other programs on this tape and find out the cities and larger blah blah blah. Okay, so that was Australian quiz. Not as bad as I remember it. I do have a bit more knowledge these days of Australian cities and states, so it's probably a lot easier now. What was that? 30 years later. So that was Australian quiz. So in the comments down below, let me know what you thought of this program, and if you would like to see some of the other programs I have for the Tandy Coco 3, or even if you'd just like to know more about the Tandy Coco 3, I will make some more videos if you leave a comment down below and give this video a thumbs up. So if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because it lets you know when I upload a new video. So thanks for watching, and that's it for me. Bye!